Alright guys, just want to quickly talk about flow. Now, with my 260, I've been struggling to make sure that basically the tank stays clean, that there's a good flow around the tank, and that most debris is basically picked up. Kind of conceded that whatever happens, when you start venturing over something like, my 180 over here, where with this tank I've literally got away with just one outflow, one filter, and that seems to work, and I've got a decent level of flow. And obviously when I do my weekly water change, I'll ruffle the plants and stuff and get the detritus off of it. Now with the 260, it's been a bit of a learning curve because I've got two filters and my hair, man. I've got two filters and I've been struggling to get that same kind of effect because I'm using a 307, Fluval 307 and a 306. Now the 307 now and the 306, hopefully you can make that out. And yeah, it's just been difficult to try to get it bang on. So in the end, what I've done, I've even put a couple of wave makers as well. One there and one there. I was watching Caveman Aquatics, and he basically has one pointed at one level and another pointed at the other. I tried that out. It kind of worked. And then I've just decided, do you know what? I'm going to have them flowing like this. Basically with two of them meeting. And what's happened is it's quite clear. It's worked out pretty good. Clarity's pretty good. If I turn off the light, just so you get an idea how clear it is. Always in a bid trying to get these tanks as crystal clear as possible, but obviously without sacrificing the biological element of it. And always making sure there's enough surface agitation, so obviously the oxygen, the gas exchange will happen. I learned the hard way when I first started that if this isn't adequate, you'll end up losing fish. So yeah, just wanted to point it out. And also, I think for the next episode, what I'm going to do is I've done the nitrate X video, and a friend of mine turned around and said to me, well, the product does work, even though when I tested it, it didn't appear that it did. Said that basically the whole package needed to go in, whereas I put half the package in. And then there's another thing about organics as well, that organics can basically fill up a little bit like carbon, will fill it up very quickly. Now both of my tanks have got plants in them. It's the way I kind of like them. Now, I don't know how good a product it is, how long it will take to fill up, but I think for my next video what I'll do is a short video, and then I'll do a water test. Now what I'll do is probably just get a jug, put some nitrate X in now, and then just leave it, right from the tank water, and then just leave it and see how much of that nitrate it soaks up. Maybe I'll leave it overnight or something like that. And basically, if it does soak up some of the nitrate, and then I'll basically turn the scores back to it works. But see, what I'm after is when I'm running these tanks, I want something that. See, already I use certain chemicals in it, carbon, Roaphos as well, to try to keep down phosphates, get any sort of chemicals or anything untoward. Basically, just cleaned out the water, leave the biological element in there, but any chemicals or whatever, basically taken out. So I use it in that way, and to give me that clarity of the water as well. Now, keep on adding bits and pieces. Can't be good, personally. I could be wrong. But the whole thing is, I think it's got to be a lot better than having super high nitrates. To me, I see some people on Facebook, some of the groups, and some people got their nitrates down, all their levels down to virtually zero. And that's where I want to get mine. Obviously, my issue is when the tap water's running at 60 ppm, you're always going to have a problem. I had someone turn around and say to me, well, don't worry about 60. You know, it's when you start hitting the higher echelons, more like your 160s, that's when you really got to worry. But the analogy that was given to me is that nitrates are a little bit like smoke. You know, you can inhale it, but you'll be fine. Well, why would I want my fish to be constantly inhaling smoke? To me, I'd rather prefer that all the levels are low, fish are healthy, and I look into it. So I think the next episode I'll do that. Plus, I've noticed quite a few people with ammonia spikes. Now, when I do my videos, I'm not trying to get people to say, I'm not trying to get people to think that my way is the best way, because there's loads of different setups, loads of different people make different things work. There's no the best, but there is adequate to the setup that you got. Now, I've always, since day one, been pushing my systems pretty hard. So, yeah, always highly demanding of my filtration and the scapes, and you know, just whatever I do, always pushing it. See, I only started this hobby in March 2020. I bought a very, very cheap tank. Started like everyone else with a bit of gravel, and yeah, just worked my way up from there. I've had a few tanks. In fact, what I've done is very similar to the red paperclip thing. People are not familiar with it. Basically, I've traded up. Sometimes I've had to add a little bit of money, but with every trade up I've done, you know, it's been very small and bought very good setups, and I've always been looking for bargains. So I'm at that stage now. I've got a really nice 260 and a really nice 180. At the moment, finances are not great, so I'm looking at selling my 180. Which I'm like this because a friend of mine turned around, made a valid point. I haven't really let any of my tanks fully mature, like become years old, and my 180 is the closest to that at the moment. So I know I need money at the moment, but I think I'll not set it. I'm not too sure. I'm torn in between, because the thing is, need the money, but a lot of effort's gone into it, and no one's willing to pay you what really you think it's worth. So, pass. And basically, I'm hoping that, God willing, I move out of this place that I'm in at the moment, and the next place I get a real big tank, looking at some real big cichlids. I might be moving my green terror out of my 70, and you know, other stuff as well. I've still got an episode with my with the plecos and a little breeding that I'm doing with them. Also want to talk about filtration a little bit. So I've got a few episodes coming. Just wanted to drop this one because I was sitting here just talking to a friend of mine, talking about flow and filtration, and thought I just wanted to post that on there. And just basically looked at my tank and thought to myself, yeah, I think I've nailed it. It finally looks alright. The water clarity looks good. I'm not seeing no particles and stuff like that. So yeah, very happy with the way it's turned out. And yeah, it was just messing about. Probably why my fish hate me at the moment. But yeah, it's fantastic. It's fantastic. So I'm just going to carry on trucking on, and and hopefully while I'm learning, you guys will be learning as well. And like I say, next couple of days I'll be posting some more videos. Hopefully you guys will enjoy it. And yeah, see you soon.